approaching waypoint 4 in the Guantanomo mission. Just flown straight up here from the airport, and I'm approaching it from the west. We usually approach from the east, but this is a great spot to fool around at low level. Very flat, and you've got a great reservoir and good visual references here. Beautiful. I reset my G meter. I think it was about a 5G pull up. Yeah, so lovely reservoir. Beautiful spot. Not far from the town of Guantanomo itself. Like I said, 17 miles from the coast. Typical tropical weather here today. Some low cloud, a lot of high humidity. Quite warm, 28 degrees, 30 degrees. It's got warmer. Throttle back and just see what happens at that speed with full backstick. Yeah, it tops out at about 4G, and then you've lost all your speed. So bit by bit learning how this aircraft flies. It's certainly got a lot of power. Going through 450 knots. Pull up. More gently this time. So it's about a 3G pull. I reckon we'll get to about 12,000 feet. Or not. Maybe. We'll see. Just keeping the 3Gs on it. 10,000, 11, yeah, I wasn't too far off. 11, 9, 12,000. And still at manoeuvring speed at the top of the loop there. You know, it can do a lot at 350 knots. So bit by bit trying to file these numbers away, so if I have to dogfight anyone, I'll have some idea what the plane's going to do. It's all good fun. So we're approaching the west end of the dam now, the reservoir. Great stuff. I might head to waypoint 5 now, do some low level. I'm in the F-35B, taking off from Guantanomo in the Guantanomo mission. I want to fly to J-Ball Dam, I think it's called, at waypoint 4. So I've selected waypoint 4 with waypoints, and if we change our range on the left here, we should see it come onto the screen. There it is, bottom near block, waypoint 4, and it's about 10 miles away, 17 miles away. Okay, right, let's just go up there and have a look. Feels good. We're ready to go. Early morning, we've got the sun in our face, but that's okay. Tow brakes on, throttling up. Tow brakes off, still advancing the throttle. I'll go to afterburner because we're pretty heavy. And rotating about 120, trying to hold 5 degrees up. It's a bit hard to see. We've got 5 degrees, just let the stick go. Tap the brakes, gear up. Boy, it's hard to see. Really need to use that view. Right, out of burner.
MiGMan 007, continue for west departure.
Gear is up. We're climbing out. Mike India Golf, copy.
007, leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
Mike India Golf, copy.
Tower MiGMan 007 frequency change.
Righto, so let's get on track to the dam. Let's have a look back at that. So let's get that number 4 on the left there to the top of the display. Let's keep climbing. Still getting used to this new joystick. Very sensitive, but excellent. So we're in a nice easy back to the left, and the waypoint's coming around over there. And distance showing 16 miles. Right, there we go. Now let's see if we can see anything outside. Yep. Level at about 2,000 feet. Now we should fly over waypoint 3, which is an airport. There it is at 1 o'clock. The airport, and we'll see the town of Guantanomo as well. It's a lovely place to fly around, I've got to say. Right, I'm going to try my new camera views I've got here. So I'll just check my okay, got to come a little bit left. Should be about right. Now I want to see if I can, oops, no good going over 2,000 feet into the clouds, so I'm going to zoom my view. There we go. And I've also got a cursor control on those cameras. They're both on the throttle quadrant, so I can do all this fancy stuff while it's just flying along. It's very cool. Yep, can't see the dam. I think it's past that ridge. And if we go up into those clouds, we won't see it anyway. Back to the normal view. So there we go. And I can pan right and left and up and down. It's awesome. Without taking my hand off the throttle. Fantastic. Also got cameras back here. It's pretty neat. And there, and under the right wing, of course, and the usual lantern pod set up under the nose. I'm going to slow down. It should be about 11 o'clock, but let's see if we can zoom out. Yep, just start to see it. There it is. So I've got a lot of iron on board actually. I thought I'd do a couple of practice runs on the dam. So there it is, X marks the spot. Now this thing's also got a ground radar mode, which I haven't even scratched the surface of yet. But let's do a run up the reservoir first. So this is a good spot, only 17 miles north of the airport. And pretty flat terrain, easy to find the landmark. Practice all these various profiles, strafing, bombing, etc. Down to about 80 feet according to our radar altitude. I reckon that tree is about 85 feet, so climb there. Right, let's go back over the top, just see if we can do a basic kind of dumb bomb approach. See how high we get in this over the top manoeuvre. Need to put some burner in there. Yep, so 5,500 feet with that manoeuvre. That should be high enough. There's the dam. Yep, it's just right So you got the bright spot on the left, bunch of trees, kind of aiming between the gap between those trees. That's about the middle of the dam, so that's a good spot. So we're already down to 2,500 feet. Long time since I've done this kind of thing. We're in a 15-degree dive. It might be okay for bombs, I think. I've got to go back and look at the books again. Okay, but anyway, at least we found it. Let's try a steeper approach. 400 knots, pulling up. Keep the burner in this time, see how high we get. Back to 320 as we go over the top. 240. Just makes it over 228. Still controllable. And we're at 7,000. Definitely a good dive bombing profile. Actually, that bright spot turns out to be useful. I don't know, where would you want to drop the bombs? There, or probably in the middle of the dam, I would imagine. So let's say shack it right there. Definitely hit. Probably blow us up in the, blast radius, so to speak. Probably, in other words, we probably dropped too low. Get that camera back to default. Right. Yeah, so I can pan right and left. Very nice. And just sitting right there under my index finger, right next to it, we've got the zoom. So actually, let's try a really high approach and see if the zoom helps us find the target. Super stutter territory there, I don't know why. Right, so we're a bit further away, about 45 degrees up, below the top. Still going to get back to 230 odd knots. Yep. Right, and now we're at 12,000 feet. So a bit hard to see. Let's use our zoom, and there it is. This is awesome. So let's say we do a hit in the middle of the dam. Let's say that corner. That's probably a good reference, where it changes direction. Right, 10,000 feet. I guess probably don't want to come in too fast. Get the zoom back out. Gee, I can't remember the numbers, but let's try like a 30-degree dive at 300 knots. And tap the brakes and guess this is probably a good time to dive. We're in level flight now, but let's roll over. Pull down 30 degrees. Roll out. Yeah, I reckon that works. It'll be long though. Anyway, needs practice. Bombs away. Pull out, low egress. Dropping flares, of course. Chaff. And we're away at about 500 knots, just like that. Great fun. Look forward to more of this. Just trying a few air-to-ground profiles on J-Bowl Dam, just 17 miles north of Guantanomo. It's waypoint 4 in my flight plan for that area. Just trying it from one of my external GoPro views. That's where we want to hit. GBUs on board, laser guided, which will be familiar from a certain recent very, very popular movie. I've got to keep the burner on, especially with its weight. To go over the top, probably about 7,000 feet. Yep, 7-8. Back to 260 knots. Just rolling. Yeah, I'll try the 30-degree dive routine. Very sensitive new controls. I've only had them for a couple of days, but super nice wind ringer ride to stick. I'm going to get closer this time and try a 30-degree dive at about 300 knots. 6,700 feet. Let's try it from here. Go 30 degrees down, roll out, and I reckon that'll be pretty good high energy. Release 350 knots, release, bombs away, and pull away, dropping countermeasures if I had them. Can the burner, I guess, to be less of a target and duck over this ridge. All the while looking out for threats from behind. Apparently the F-35 has this kind of all-round vision built into the pilot's helmet, fusion sensor type material. So we can kind of emulate it with external cameras and could be a Sam on the way. I better concentrate on escape and evasion. I'm taking off from Guantanomo Bay in the PC-21 on loan from the Brazilian Air Force. Beautiful, beautiful paint scheme. Okay, wheel brake off, toe brakes on. Coming through 70%, release the brakes. 80, 90, coming up to 100%. 100%, 50 knots, 60, 70, 80, rotating at 95 degrees. Let's hold up there, yep. Tap the brakes, positive rate of climb, gear up. Flaps up. Alpha decreasing and about 200.
007, continue for west departure.
About 200 knots. I should be able to let go of the stick. Mike India Golf, copy.
Tower MiGMan 007, continue for west departure.
Righto, let's go out to sea and come back over the airport. Head to waypoint 1, which is east of the airport. Very smooth water today too. It's yep, landing lights off. Very deceptive when it's that smooth. Nice beach there. Right, so waypoint 1 is an intersection, basically going around the east coast of the bay. Waypoint 1 and 2. I thought it's staying about 500 feet, I think. Let's check that altimeter. Yes, that's it. 5 miles across the bay here. It's quite flat down here. Nope, they've built some new wharves and docks since I was last here. It's good to see. 2 miles.
MiGMan 007, leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
Mike India Golf, copy.
Tower MiGMan 007 frequency change.
Right, there's an intersection here somewhere. I think it might be that one. That is an intersection. And it's in about the right spot, so that'll do. It's really just a guide, this one. These first couple to get us around the bay. Now head up the eastern shore. We're just going up to the northeast corner of the bay. That's waypoint 2. It's an easier way to think about it. Sitting on 500 feet. It's all looking pretty nice. Declutter my map, that's better. I should pull it up down here, I guess. It's there you go. You can see just come inside 5 miles. It's basically just up in this corner. Then we're heading northwest to a dam. Super nice, haven't been here for a while. Just taking our time. Right, now to the waypoint 3 is 5.5 miles to the northwest. Shouldn't be hard to see. It is a dam. Takes us across the top of the bay. .3 miles. We should start to see the body of water soon. Might climb to 1,000 feet. Should make the task easier. It's quite rural down here. Small towns here and there. An airport, yes. Did I mention that on my... yeah, waypoint 3, that's it. Yep, we're here. Dam. It's not a dam, it's an airport. Right, well that is quite easy to see. Very cool. I'll come back there later and do some touch and goes. It's Mariana Grajales Airport. Waypoint 4 is the dam. Right. And it's about 10 miles, same direction. So, pretty easy flight plan so far. We fly across the bottom of the bay, up the east side. Northwest, we pass over that airport and to a dam. Then we head directly west and then back south. It's fairly simple. Now in this case we've got rising ground as well, so I'm going to go to 1,500 feet. Very large town there actually. It's well, it's the town of Guantanomo, and yeah, it's quite big. That'll be the dam over there somewhere. I'm still climbing. We've got to clear this ridge. Very nice. Fuel is good. Took quite a bit on at the start. I don't want to run out like I did up the other day, up near Holguin. It said 60 pounds left and just flamed out. I don't know what's the point of showing 60 pounds. It should show point of no return with flashing red lights. Right, and here's the dam. Very cool. It's quite a long dam too. Then we're heading west in a moment to 8.5, which is a town. 2 more towns, the beach, and then east back to Guantanomo Bay. Charming. Great spot for a picnic right there. Beautiful. I'll have to bring the Bell helicopter up here later on. Doesn't get much better than that. Great reflections as well. Fantastic. Well, might fly around this hill. Actually, we could follow the water all the way up to the end as well. Next time. So flying nap of the Earth, trying to get back on a westerly heading, and I'm about 7.9 miles from the town of Los Reynaldos. I reckon I could just about land this there, but I won't. Could definitely land the shock hub there, and I might. I can see some chimneys, that would be a clue. It's a nice, I could possibly land on that road. That's quite a long straight stretch there. Not that I want to land this off outside an airport, but it's supposed to be good practice to look for alternate landing spots. And here's the town coming up. I'll fly around those chimneys. That seems to be the epicenter. And we're pretty much heading south after that till we hit the coast. So a lot of cardinal directions in this. We had the east, north, northwest, west, south, and then east again. That's the town. Nice. Right, the sun's getting strong. 7.9 miles to 8.6, town of El Ramon. And it looks like we're going to go into some terrain now. It's quite a nice flight, this one, if I say so myself. There's some nice variations. Now I'm thinking we can fly just around the end of that ridge. That's where I've put the flight plan. 24 miles. Must be just past that long ridge, I reckon. Pretty steep too. I must have gone past it. No, I don't think so. 8.5, 6. The autopilot tends to leap ahead to the next waypoint before you get there. Oh, yeah, it's tucked in here. I remember this now, yeah. That's right, the hidden valleys. Let's circle around and have a look. Yeah, it's a tiny, tiny town. Lots of high ground around it. But very clear. And you've got 2 rivers there. Looks like 1 river. Yep. It's a very cool spot. Just looking for my heading. I think it's down this valley actually. Put my compass back on. Yep, I've steered us down this nice valley along a river. Cool. For about 10 miles, yep, 8.3 now. Seem to be following a river. Probably will have to hop this ridge, I'd say. Or we could fly over to the left. But we can do it, so let's do it. And should see a beach coming up. Through that gap, I believe. Just for a bit of added drama, that's where it's pointing. And this is Guantanomo Beach. Guantanomo Beach, probably. Guantanomo. Look at the great reflections there too. Oh, wow. Here we come. Here's the beach, a nice little town. Hey. Beautiful. Follow the shore back to Guantanomo. It's about 15 miles. Well, it's certainly some dramatic shoreline down here as well. Look at the ridges back there, big bays. Super nice. No ships around today. There was a hint of a carrier group in the area, but I can't see it. It's not on my what do you call it? TCAS? ECAS? No other aircraft, no ships I can see. Just us and the clouds. Beautiful. It's almost a lenticular cloud formation out there, which, you know, I saw in an old book about UFOs a long time ago. Fantastic reflections there. Right, we better call up the base. Got them tuned in. I'm going to have to bump. I don't think. There it is. This radio's getting very dodgy. Tower is 1134.1. Should be it. Boom. Can't see it. Channel 2. I can see it actually. Channel 1. Yeah, that's the one. Mike India Golf 2.
Tower MiGMan 0075 5 miles west 1,800 feet to land.
MiGMan 007 Tower. Altimeter 29.906, wind speed 19 at 6.
Check that.
Fly left traffic runway 28.
Excellent. Mike India Golf copy.
Fly left downwind runway 28 MiGMan 007.
Very cool, we're set up for that now. Pretty good distance as well. 24 degrees outside. Nice and balmy. Beautiful. I did see another some navigation lights down there, but anyway. She reckons we're good to go. We'll get clearance to land just about now. PC-21 landing checklist.
PC-21 landing checklist.
Clear to land
Fuel.
runway 28.
Altimeter. Penetration 240 knots. Below 180 gear down. Flaps 1. Circuit 160. Final 120. Flaps full. Trim for landing. Threshold 110.
MiGMan 007
Flare and throttle to
acknowledge
idle.
last transmission.
Lower nose wheel. End checklist.
I should have done that earlier. Mike India Golf copy.
Clear
He's
to land
out.
runway 28 MiGMan
Flaps front.
007.
Yeah, it's quite the long readout. Anyway, it's just started moving my checklist to the onboard data pack I take with me, and great, I don't have to take my hands off any of the flaps 2 of the controls to get all that info. Just got to time it better next time. Coming in fast, but on glide slope. It's a long runway, so not too worried about that. Settle very slowly. Touchdown. Beautiful. Brakes, air brakes. Need some rudder. I gotta flaps up and stick back. See that? Whoa, it wants to fly again. Okay, now no. Don't do that. Right, toe brakes. Missing all the
MiGMan
taxiways.
007 turn next taxiway.
Yep, that's the one I want. There's another one up there. Go for that. Right, flaps up. Gorgeous horizon up there. Clouds look awesome today. And contact ground around
MiGMan
about here.
007, contact
Yep.
ground on 118.45.
Mike India Golf copy.
Going to 118.45 MiGMan 007.
118.45, I think. Yes. Anyway, but on Monday I've got a new stick arriving, and the pedal that pulls up ATC should be back into service, hopefully. So for the moment, boy, that forklift is moving along. Yeah, for the moment, I just won't be making all the radio calls. Nice big airport, and like that tower, the beacon. Right, I think I'll park right here, I think. Looks good. Parking brake on. Look forward to exploring Guantanamo a little bit more. Righto, I'm at Guantanamo and going to use the autopilot to fly the usual patrol mission. I've just been out at the Tarawa trying to do some landings, so fuel's kind of lowish. So I'll just take a conservative trip around the 70 odd mile route and try to spend more time looking out the window than usual. So you can see we're heading for waypoint 1. Let's just steer right a bit. So I've got the speed set for 308. Okay, let's get it on 300. 300, 1500 feet altitude. So that's a pretty standard fast jet VFR plan for us as waypoint 1. Let's steer about 030 to waypoint 2. And we can do some gazing out the window, knowing the aircraft is looking after itself. Very cool. The temperature here today, 29, and as you can see we pass over an airport at waypoint 3. We'll be turning left in a moment. It's almost within sight actually. I think it's about 12 o'clock in my field of view. Okay, let's turn towards it now. There it is. Yeah, so it's a pretty executes a pretty broad turn. Just give it a bit of help. So the waypoint's actually halfway up the runway. If we're flying to an airport, I usually just set the waypoint dead center in the runway. Okay. Very good. And now it's veer right to the town of Guantanamo. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, I think. Yep. Pretty large town. And the dam's coming up waypoint 4, as you can see on the map. Beautiful. This might be the first time I've used autopilot ever in about 2,000 flights. So there you go. That's the effect this F-35 and a new hardware cockpit's had on me. You get seduced by all the techie stuff, but that's okay. It's good to have. Here's the dam. Start steering left. Now I might have to adjust the altitude a bit. I think we'll get over this hill okay, but terrain's a little bit higher to the south, I think. We'll see. I'll steer left a little bit, I think. Oops, too far. Yeah, we're just going to scrape it over this one. I'll come right a bit so we can swing around the chimneys, which are just coming into sight now. Actually, let's use the other new feature I've got is the helmet mounted binoculars. Fantastic. And really good for this VFR stuff to try to spot the next bridge or chimney or dam or whatever it is we're looking for. So pretty much turning to the south next. Nobody around, there's nobody on the radar, which I should be able to see on the left display if there's anybody around. So on this aircraft you can actually designate other aircraft, which is really cool. And it basically uses it as an air radar and effect intercepts on them. It's a whole other level of fun. Also you can select ground targets like vehicles, etc. So yeah, we can see where this is going. Now that ridge is definitely higher than 1,500 feet, but if I recall correctly, I've set the path to take us in most of the flights, not all of them, most of them, so you can get around the whole flight without climbing over 1,500 feet. And I believe this is the case here, because we should be flying just past the end of this plateau. How does it look on the map? Oh, that's cool. I just noticed it shows elevation as well. We're looking good. I'm going to go left a bit though. Looks different every time. Different lighting, different angle of the sun. Fantastic. Right, let's straighten out a bit, because we should be able to follow this valley. There's our waypoint, this town of El Ramon. Now we should be able to follow this river valley down to the coast without climbing. Yeah, it looks like it's going to work out. There is a radar altitude mode in this aircraft too, but yeah, I'm obviously doing something wrong because I can't engage. As you can see, it says no radar at the top there, no radar altitude. Anyway, it's more RTFM stuff. Let's go left a bit, get round this peak. But I want to get right again after that. I don't think I'm going to make it. I've got to slow down, I think. Speed down. Doesn't seem to be responding at the moment. Right, press on. I want to go through that gap. But let's instead exit via this lovely river mouth, and we can take the altitude down at the same time. Take it down to 500 feet. How's that? Beautiful. Fantastic. Very picturesque. I wonder why I can't reduce the speed. I've got speed hold off, speed hold on. Oh, I can do it now. Come back to 250. Actually, then I will go back to 1500 feet. And contact the tower. Let's do that now before we hit this hill. And you can hear the engine spooling up all by itself, which is super cool. Let's have a look at it. Engine. There. Yep, to keep our 250 knots. Great. Channel 2, Channel 1, Mike India Golf 2.
Tower MiGMan 0079er miles west 1,400 feet to land.
MiGMan 007 Tower. Altimeter 29er.9er to wind 104 at 1 tree. Fly straight in runway 10.
Very good.
MiGMan 007, wind 104 at 1 tree. Clear to land runway 10.
Mike India Golf, copy.
Clear to land runway 10 MiGMan 007.
Okay, I'm going to dial the speed back to 200 and just to try something and use the waypoint to steer me. Get the gear down. Should throttle up to adjust for the increased drag, and it is. Super cool. Now apparently, according to the manual, the auto landing can be a bit rough, so I will turn it off in a moment. Not that it's on auto land mode anyway. I just want to get lined up as best I can here. Okay, disengage autopilot. It's interesting, auto throttle is still engaged, is it? Yep, it's off now. Okay, I get it. Right, independent function. Alright, speed brake out. Still engaged. Yeah, it is. I got no throttle. I do now. Okay. Bit more speed brake. And there we're down. Whew, speed brake out. And see if I can make this turn off. Maybe.
MiGMan 007, turn next taxiway.
Yep, I think I am. Yay.
MiGMan 007, contact ground on 118.45.
Mike India Golf, copy.
Going to 118.45 MiGMan 007.
Channel 1. Mike India Golf 1.
Guantanomo ground, MiGMan 007 taxi to parking.
MiGMan 007 taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway Alpha.
Mike India Golf, copy.
Guantanomo ground, MiGMan 007. I didn't copy that. Say again, please.
Oh, I did copy actually.
MiGMan 007 taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway Alpha.
Yep. Right, okay. Right, so I want to use the fancy new, it's not doing anything, taxi ribbon. It worked last time, but that's technology, I
MiGMan
guess.
007, did you copy?
Oh yeah, I thought so I haven't got a copy option. Interesting. Okay. Not to worry, I'll, another thing to get the text to look at. But anyway, interesting leisurely.
MiGMan 007, did you copy?
I'll just mute her. Leisurely Guantanamo patrol. Better negotiate with this truck now. It's 11:25 a.m. I'm in F-35B at Guantanamo, and I'm going to fly the normal morning patrol. So pre-flight's done, parking brake off, tow brakes on, spooling up. Let's get the engine display on here. ENG for engine, there it is. Okay, tow brakes off. Still spooling up. Going through 60 knots, still. I'll probably stay out of burner, I think. Yep, 140, let's rotate. Tap the brakes, gear up. That's the clicking from my landing
MiGMan
lights.
007, continue for east departure.
Clash between the physical cockpit and the
MiGMan 007, leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
virtual switch settings. Mike India Golf, copy. Mike India Golf, copy.
Tower MiGMan 007 frequency change.
Righto, get my ducks in a row before we head off. Yep, gear up, flaps are auto. The fuel's good. So first we fly up the east side of the bay, across the town of Guantanamo to a dam, back down through a couple of valleys to the coast. And don't fly too slow. That was a stall warning. So I'll sit around 300 knots. It's a safe speed for this. Still getting used to my new hardware upgrade. I've got WinWing Orion 2 joystick and yeah, very, very happy with it. I'll go into that a bit more in some other videos. But basically, waypoint 1, let's turn north. Yeah, I've flattened the curve a bit, as you do on the joystick, so it's less sensitive in the middle. You can do more fine adjustments, and the stick feels very loose there. But when you pull it towards the limits, it gets a lot of resistance, and that's appropriate because at that point you're starting to pull a lot of G. So it's kind of a de facto force feedback. It works out really well. Very happy with it. Had my brother around yesterday and he hopped in the F-35 and he did land on the tower with a VTOL landing at first attempt. Then one of the tyres slipped on an oily rag or something and did fall off the ship. But a testament to his skill and the accuracy of these controls. Flying across the airport, Mariana Grajals Airport, in about 10 seconds. Typical tropical weather here, some low clouds, quite humid and warm at 31 degrees C. Here's the airport, let's fly over the tower. Give him a wave. How are you going down there? They can't really hear me. And turn to the northwest. Here's the town of Guantanomo. Let's fly past the penthouse suites. And give him a bit of a thrill. Quite go through the sound barrier of consideration for their windows. And just past this ridge we'll see the dam. Not much rear vision in this aircraft. It needs mirrors actually. Oh, they got the they got their $500,000 helmets. They don't need mirrors, do they? Right, here's the dam. And I usually like to fly along the reservoir, but keep it brief this morning. I'll turn straight to waypoint 4 or 5. 5 is it? Yes. Town of Los Ronaldos. I usually fly around that ridge along the reservoir. There's nobody out here, so we can crank it up a bit. Close to Mach 1 there. It's got a lot of get up and go, this aircraft, but I guess for $650 million each, you would hope so. Nonetheless, a delight to fly, I've got to say. Very smooth ride here. And around the chimneys, we'll turn to the south. Now this is where the G comes in, up to 5G, and you can really feel the pressure on the stick. It's very good. Yeah, we just tipped 5G. Coming into some low cloud. Down here as usual.
Tower generic November, tree 168, whiskey 11 miles west inbound, visual runway 10 approach. Generic November tree 168, whiskey tower.
And it's so cool. I can, with this last upgrade, I can now turn it down and up and down again and up. So cool.
Cleared visual runway 10 approach, generic 68 whiskey.
And now just down to the right, blink and you miss it. The next waypoint is right there. A very small town. Right now, veering left along this valley and a river, actually, along this river to the coast. You can put a map overlay on that screen. Interestingly, not if you've got it enlarged to half screen. It only works at a quarter screen. Don't ask me why. Pretty rugged terrain here, very interesting. Very cool. And through that gap, mission timer just running up to 10 minutes. That's about right. It's about 75 miles, I think that's route. 72 miles. And we just follow the coast now back to the east. About 10 miles, 15 miles back to the base. Check out that low clouds over the hills there. Very picturesque. Yeah, the weather's so good in this part of the world. Let's talk to the lady. Turn her up again. Channel 2. Channel 1. Mike India Golf 2.
Tower MiGMan 00711 miles west, 400 feet to land.
MiGMan 007 tower. Altimeter 29er, decimal 9er, 2, wind 104 at 1 tree. Make straight in runway 10.
Mike India Golf, copy.
007, wind 104 at 1 tree. Clear to land runway 10.
Mike India Golf, copy.
Generic 68 whiskey. Follow the aircraft on final. Wind 104 at 1 tree.
Right, let's see if we
Clear to land runway 10.
turn it down a bit, see if we can go straight in.
Clear to land runway 10. Generic 68 whiskey.
I can see some nav lights over there. I reckon that's an aircraft in the taxi area. Yep, there's the airport. Cool. Let's air brake out. Gear coming down now.
MiGMan 007, please acknowledge.
Air brake in. Mike India Golf, copy.
Clear to land runway 10 MiGMan 007.
I've got 3 greens. Yeah, so those wobbles back there were just me playing with the stick, like so. Super responsive and yeah, loving it. very little in the way of nav aids or landing aids at this place. In fact, nothing. That's okay. I go old school. DIY. What am I talking about? There's puppy lights on the right. There you go. And we're on glide slope for once. It's a rare occasion, that's for sure. Small adjustments there with a stick. I'm going to cut the throttle and just flare a bit. Sinks real quick once you cut it. Yeah. So flare didn't do me any good at all. But we live to fight another day. So there we go. Have a nice lunch, a bit of siesta, and then do afternoon patrol.
MiGMan 007 exit runway when able.
I think I might be doing that in the Bell 407. We'll see. Good times. I'm taking off from Guantanomo on the mission of the same name in an F-35B. And let's go. So I usually over-rotate this. So at 120 I'm going to start to rotate. There we go, that's better. Tap the brakes, gear up. Still lurches when you get to 200 knots, I find. Now of course that's in fly-by-wire mode, and I've only recently discovered you can turn that off, which I've just done. And you can do Boogerjov's Cobra and all kinds of fancy stuff. You can also break the aircraft and stall very badly. But so I'll put it back on for now and just take a nice sedate 300 knot
Tower generic November 3024.
run around this course. So first two waypoints are on Guantanamo Bay itself. Basically the southeast corner and the northeast corner. Just going past number one to get the speed up to 300. So one noticeable difference is in fly-by-wire mode, it just points where you goes where you pointed in pitch, and when you turn it off, the trim wheel can be used. So there's pros and cons of both approaches. And boy, it picks up speed quick. Right, so next waypoint is an airport, Mariana Grajals Airport. Sorry, next waypoint. Waypoint 3, that was waypoint 1. We're still in Guantanamo Bay. Getting ahead of myself. Beautiful tropical day. It's 32 degrees outside. Nonetheless, I've got the pitot heat on because if I have to zoom up and chase a MiG or something, it gets cold really quick. There we go, close to 300 knots. Coming up to waypoint 2. It's a pretty big bay, actually. Now we turn northwest to go to the aforementioned airport. Beautiful place to fly over, I've got to say. And very varied terrain on this mission from this flat coastland. We'll be coming back through some valleys, quite rugged terrain on the western leg. Look at that, just gorgeous, those low hanging clouds. Fantastic. It just wants to go, maybe 350s. It's not even 50% RPM, 350 knots, let's just leave it at that, eh? Now while I'm talking, I think here's the airport. Yep, there it is. Nice. We'll have to come back and do some touch and goes there later. Now look at the trees, they're much drier over here. Fantastic. The lighting here is just spectacular, gotta say. Now the dam, I believe, J-Bol Dam, after we fly over the town of Guantanomo, which is coming up right now. Quite sizable too. Obviously I've got no control over the speed here. In my defence, I've probably got single digit hours in this, maybe more, maybe 20 hours, but that's over the last couple of years. So yep, really haven't got a feel for it. Takes time. Now the dam should be just over this crest, and I'm actually going to fly along the reservoir, why not? And then I'll probably come back and turn to waypoint 5 because it all happens pretty quick in this. We're only 5 minutes into it, we're halfway around. So here's the dam. Bit of burner there. What a great spot. I mean, what better spot to do some low level over water, I say. That's about 90% RPM. It's just picking up speed like a banshee. Wow. Okay, we'll turn it. Oh no, there's more. There's more. I thought there was more. We'll turn back to the dam though, just to get an idea of the route proper down to waypoint 5, which is a town. Beautiful colour in the water. Righto. Okay, so it's actually directly west to waypoint 5. Let's go over the top. And once more along the dam, the reservoir, but not all the way. We just pretty much head due west, so slightly south of the reservoir. And a bit of a climb. Just glorious country to fly over. About 11.9 miles total. Just trying to read the HUD. That hasn't got nav info up there. Anyway, I've got it down here with 7.6 miles from the town of Los Reynaldos. That's just awesome. Now that waypoint 6 after that is a tiny town in a valley, which is, you've got to blink and you miss it type of thing. This one's easy to spot. Let's go right a bit, so we're going to turn left at this town. Somewhere around the base of that ridge, I think. Ah, the chimneys. The chimneys. couple over there too. Yep, I'll fly around the chimneys, pretty much head to the south. Here we go. Here we go. Nice. I like that you can actually tell the wind direction by the way the smoke blows as well. Right, so this is pretty close. It's only 7 miles away. I'm going to cut round this ridge just to stay below radar, of course. Yeah, look, I told you the terrain gets rugged, look at that. Now, from memory, it's in a valley just at the end of this ridge that's coming up in front of us. And the valley runs left and right. So it's, I'll slow up actually, make sure I see it. Fantastic. Here, that's it, and that river goes all the way up there. Fabo. And we follow the same river down to the coast and then east back to the airport. That's it. Nice little flight plan actually, one of my favourites. And we're going to hop one ridge before we hit the coast. It'll be this one. Ah yes, that's right. Little Easter egg. Set you up right in front of this gap where that road's going through. Or you could cut straight across that lake. Either way is good. But the waypoint's just at the end of this little gap on the coast. How cool is that? There we go. And back to the east. Fantastic. Yeah, very forgiving aircraft to fly if you stay over 200 knots. As you can see, absolutely no problem sitting 160 feet. Turn, doesn't dive, it doesn't do anything nasty at all. Very carefree. Look at that, just maintains level flight. That is so cool. And you can see on one great advantage of these fly-by-wire systems is for a mission profile like this, low and fast, really lessens the workload. Not constantly trimming. Look at this, going down to 80 feet, 70, 60. And no drama at all. Very well behaved. Look at that. You can tell I like it, and I'm back at the airport. Fuel's good, as you can see on the right. Fantastic. There we go, about 14 minutes to do that 70 odd miles. So let's land. Speed brake in. Turn over the outpost here. Gear down. Yep. It's okay. Fly-by-wire is on, so no flaps required. Obviously I'm way too low. Start off at 100 feet there. Seems to want to land about 150 knots. According to the staple and the FPI anyway. 140. Does get touchy at that speed, I've got to say. And I'm slow. Coming down hard, but let's call it firm. Yep. And air brakes out, toe brakes on. I think we're good. I think we are. Air brakes in. Phew. And vacate the runway. Elvis is leaving the building. Nicely sprung suspension too. So there we go. Guantanomo on a big budget.